Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is good to see everybody today. Welcome to the workshop of Wood Spun Round. It is a kind of a cloudy, overcast day here in North Central Kentucky, and we're there. I am again. There, that did it. I figured out how to do that quicker now. Okay. Had YouTube on the other side. Anyhow, it is good to have all of you here, and we're going to do some fun stuff today. I've got this piece of wood. As you can see, it's a cut off. This was a branch that was coming out of the tree this direction, and so under here, there's the pith of that branch that was coming out. Here's the central. There, that's the central pith right there. There it is on the top. That dark spot right there in the center. Um, and then you see my marks where I've got sort of a center established. This side is going to be wonky because of this branch that's growing out here, but we'll take care of that. But we're going to turn this, and instead of turning in this direction where it's spinning this way like we normally do for bowls, I'm going to turn it in grain. Normally, when you turn, well, I didn't grab one. I meant to grab another blank. Normally, when we turn side grain, when you're done, all your grain either forms a bow up or a bow down, one way or the other. And in this case, the rings are going to form a circle all the way around the bowl. So while I'm getting this set up and we get ready to go, I'm going to bring in my one of my trusty earworms, the only one that was able to be here today, Miss Ruby Claire in Canada, and she is going to be with us and help us out, help with the discussion, but also sharing any questions along with me, and may correct me from time to time, and that's okay because I'm not perfect either. I can forget what I'm doing every once in a while. So Ruby, I'm going to put you back in the background again and let you read off our chat today. You're muted. Did I mute you?
Oh,
There, oh, there you go. Now you're open.
okay. First in tonight was Ronald Todd, followed by Norman Greenwell, Pete from Twisted Trees, Fred Gilliver, Zed, the zombie woodturner, Al Dawson, Todd at Glen Cove, uh, Mike dances with aardvarks. Let's see. Clint at Wood Dancers, Haley at Wooden Burl, MG Woodworks, um, Old Man River, Chris Walters. Hi, Chris. Let's see. Papa 1947, Jennifer, Jennifer's Craft and Creations, Roger Kent, Heather from Spirit Wind, Wood, Stone and Bone, Vinnie Charlton, and that's the end of my list. If I missed anyone, I apologize. Welcome everyone anyway. And for those who aren't aware, this is a piece of fogwood that Doug is turning. And Doug, we can't see the wood at all from that camera.
Yeah. Yes. I got myself out of kilter here just a little bit. So there's the wood, and there. This is that branch, that knot. So I'm having to turn real slow right this minute. In fact, let me. There we go. Now you can see what's going on. Just taking a few chips off of here. I'm still pretty slow RPMs right now because it is so out of balance. But we're okay. We're knocking it back, and as soon as we get this limb out of the way, we'll be able to should be able to speed up.
So you'll be cutting a little bit of air initially.
Absolutely.
And Mick Deuce has just joined us. Welcome, Mick.
I was going to say a second ago, hello everybody. It's good to have you along. I know there are some other major things going on YouTube right now, but we're I'm glad to have you with me today.
Absolutely.
Some of you may understand Wayne's not with us today. He told us just a little while ago he was not going to be able to make it. Todd's the same way. Didn't really explain, so we'll just hope everything's good for both of them.
Oh, I kind of think it is. I have an idea where he's at. Um, Chris Walters is asking, how are you doing, Doug?
I'm doing great. Even with my birthday yesterday, I'm doing okay. I'm not
Yeah,
depressed or anything.
you're all of 29 now. You hit the big number.
Somebody said, "Yay, 21 again." I said, for the third time plus a couple.
That's all right. You're only as old as you feel. Some days I
Well,
feel 100, and other days I feel like I'm 18.
there you go. Yeah, I said that yesterday that it's really just a number. Um, I've been blessed with really good health, and so I'm not. I've got friends who are much younger who are taking handfuls of medicine every day. I have one prescription, and it's a very low dose um, blood pressure medication, not a high dose at all.
Well, you're getting many birthday wishes from a number of people, Doug.
Well, thank you all so very much. I appreciate it. I really do. See if we can get just a hair more speed. Every little bit helps at this point.
Usually, when I have a piece like that, I trim that corner off on the bandsaw. And
Yeah,
MG Woodworks is asking, is your bandsaw broken, perhaps?
no, this piece would not go under my bandsaw, unfortunately.
Ah, okay.
I could have trimmed it back a little bit, but I couldn't get the whole piece underneath the opening of my bandsaw.
And Old Man
So
River is asking or saying, at least you're still able to count your birthdays, Doug.
yeah, yeah. Dale, don't don't get too carried away. You're not that far ahead of me. He let me know the other day without saying the number. He let me know how old he was. I'm not that far behind you.
Well, maybe in some century you'll catch up to Wayne and I.
Yeah.
One of my young turning friends made it very clear that I'm not allowed to get older and I'm not allowed to act my age. So, with that advice in hand,
My wife, who is 13 months younger than me, made some comments yesterday about getting old, and said that's okay because you're going to be the same age I am in a year. Actually, she's 11 months younger than me, not 13. Anyway, in a year, she's going to be the same age I am now. Um, and some of those things that she's talking about in her life don't affect me yet. So I'm extremely happy about that. But it's kind of funny. My parents are 10 days apart. And so
that's
for
pretty
10
close.
days, it is. For 10 days, my mother will give my dad a hard time every year. And then it comes her birthday and he says, now who? Now who has those issues going on?
Well, the
I
Papa
am,
1947 says his handle is a giveaway on his age.
yes. I I had kind of figured that out early on, Gary. Um, my dad would have to do 37 instead of 47.
Well, Todd has started off in honor of Zed. He called the tinnitus helpline, but it just kept ringing. And Zed says the 11 letter word is incorrect. And Fred Day has joined us from the cold, wet county of Kent in the UK. Hope you're not getting too much rain, Fred. And Larry from Henry Scroll Saw Works has joined us. Hi, Larry.
Excellent. Glad to have you along. Hey, Zed, if you've got your link, go ahead and throw it in the chat.
Now, once you get that little knob off, are you going to start cutting in the other direction with the grain?
Yeah, when I'm starting to shape the bowl, I will, yes. Right now, I'm actually going with the grain because the limb was going out in that direction, the same direction I'm cutting. So we are still with the grain for right now. But it won't be long.
Just want to clear that up for the people watching.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the problem with turning in grain bowls is that the grain's not going the direction we normally cut in. So we have to kind of think about that. And
now, Chris says that he's turning 30 next year.
Okay, Chris, that's good. I remember when I turned 30, it was a great relief after turning 25. I thought I was going to die when I turned 25.
And Gary says he has shoes older than Chris.
I'm very well. Well, no, I don't. I did. I've thrown away all my old shoes.
And Zed, when he put his link in, says he's turning a sugar bowl for his daughter.
Okay.
Well, I hope none of the people watching were affected very much by the after effects of Hurricane Helene.
Tell you what, I planted a tree yesterday and the ground was so soft because of all that rain. Oh man, that is. If I get some of this striping here, that's going to be beautiful. However, I've got a little bit of a ring shank there, but I think we'll turn that out.
Right, we don't know what this wood is, but it had a very distinct ring in the center. And Dale says 30 was the year he quit smoking. Good for you. I'm glad to hear you quit.
All right. Getting into some real wood here and going downhill, as Ruby was talking about a while ago. Makes all the difference in the world when you can go with the grain.
It's like sharpening a pencil. You go downhill.
Mm-hmm.
And old man Murray says that would be 39 years ago this November that he quit.
Okay, good for you.
And Jennifer, we figure this is a piece of fogwood. We don't know what kind of wood it is. Now, are you going to leave any of the bark on it?
There is no bark on it. This gray that's on the outside is most of that's the wood. The bark is gone. this may have told Ruby earlier. I found this. I was driving through a state park. Had never been in the park before, so I was just kind of exploring. And this was in a burn pile in the very back end of the park. And so I saw it and immediately went and grabbed it. And it's been sitting here in the shop now for a year-ish.
Now, Zed says he knows a guy who lost 3 fingers in an accident. He asked the doctor if he could still play piano with that hand, and the doctor responded, maybe, but I wouldn't count on it.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, I'm going to grab my easy wood rougher. Down here where I would typically put a tenon, that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to flatten it off first, and then we'll put a tenon on it.
And Gary says he has to go, Doug. He's got a meeting with friends in Indiana on the line since he's in Oregon. So
Well,
thanks for
dropping
coming
in.
by. Yep. A number of people put down how long ago they quit smoking. That's good to hear. I'm glad.
My son is 20. He's about to turn 24. And I had quit several years before he was born. So in the 90s, I would imagine. Well, one reason I want to get a tenon on here, it's not my stab center and my live center are wanting to sink into this wood pretty deep.
Yeah, that's typical of end grain turning. That's why I go to on my live center. I've got like a steb live center.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoking was something I never took up. And Chris Walters said he never smoked and he won't ever start. Good for you, Chris. Yeah, those easy wood roughers really make going in on that quite nice, don't they?
Yes, yes. And that's a dull cutter. I have just gotten some new cutters. I haven't installed them yet. Need to, and I will. I've got an easy wood demo coming up Saturday.
So if any of you are in the area of the Woodcraft near Doug, you can stop in and say hello to him.
Yeah, more specifically, Dayton, Ohio. So that's where I will be. I'll be inside the store, right in the front of the store, I think, is where he's going to put me.
Front and
All
center.
right.
Rob from Copper Owl has joined us. Hi, Rob.
Hey, how you
He
doing,
said
Copper?
he wishes he was closer.
Well, I will be there this week. I don't have any others scheduled right now. That's the last one in a store. Now I do have one that we just talked about it today at one of the retail stores I sell in, and she's going to have an open house kind of day the first Saturday of December, and she wanted some makers to be in there and doing their thing, and she wanted me to go in this big room with 3 other folks, and I told her, you won't want me, or they won't want me to be in that area with them because I'm going to make a mess. She says, well, there's a whole nother room back there. How about if we put you in there? I said, okay, that'll work.
Now, do you want to explain to folks why you just put all that thin CA glue on the tenon?
Absolutely. That's what I was about to do. The center of this is a little punky, and this tenon is as well. There's not a lot of real solid wood there. So what I've done is to soak that with CA and get that stab center out. And then I think what I'm going to do, even though that feels dry to the touch, I think I'm going to put a little bit more on there and then spray it with accelerator.
That sounds like a good idea. You wouldn't want it stuck to your jaws.
Well, that I'm not as worried about that as I am. I want this thing to be good, the tenon to be good and stiff. I don't want it to collapse on me and send this thing flying at a crucial moment. And so that's what we're going to do. Folks, if y'all can get, this is a Sure Shot atomizer. That's an aluminum bottle with a screw-on cap. Pressurize it with your compressor there. I fill this up. I usually pressurize it twice in its lifetime while there's still stuff in there. Accelerator. So I think it's cheaper that way, but it also allows you to control what you're using a little bit better.
Now, Dances with Aardvarks just put a good entry in. He says he bought 12 clear acrylic baubles, so 2 half spheres each. So he's making a polyhedra for each bauble, all on a mathematician's Christmas tree.
Oh,
I can't wait to see that.
It'll be something else. I'll tell you what. If y'all aren't watching Mike does shorter videos. Some of them are actually shorts, but some will be 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
They're all intricate.
Yes, he shows in detail how he does these crazy. This Roman dodecahedron is just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's putting that in the middle of a goblet with a captive ring around it. It's craziness. But he has the patience to figure that all out and to do it in a way that he can show people how it's done or how he does it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
And Heather said she just finished a fantastic weekend class with Graham Prettle and Melissa Engler, his wife, on surface embellishments. And she highly recommends taking their surface class.
Very good.
Heather, I took that class with Graham probably 15, 20 years ago. And I was talking to him just the other day, and I'm quite sure you enjoyed the class and learned a lot. He's very, very good. If any of you get a chance to see some of the stuff that the two of them are doing, it's worth taking.
There we go. Allow you guys to see just a little better what's going on. Now I'm going with the grain because this is in grain orientation. All right, it's about time I straighten out this bottom before we go on any further.
Is that going to be the bottom of the piece or the top?
Well, I haven't fully decided yet. I think this may be the bottom. I'll switch it around and make the other side the top. Looks to me like this side has a little better wood in it.
So it might hold a better tenon.
Yeah, and just make a more attractive bowl so I don't have all that torn in grain.
Now, Zed says that he once had a job interview where they asked him to describe himself in one word, and he replied, "I'm bad at following simple instructions."
No, this grain's just as punky. So
Better stay with what you've got then.
I probably will. It looks a little nicer on that other side. So, okay, but at least I got it flat. I can kind of see where I'm at as far as design goes.
Yeah, Heather says that the Graham and Melissa are from Asheville, North. Just know that it's still standing and their cat survived. Yeah, we were talking about that on Friday when I last saw them. We had breakfast together.
Yeah, Asheville, that whole western North Carolina area was very badly hit.
Yeah, the pictures on the news didn't make it look very pleasant.
Right. Now, I saw some things last night that showed the difference in just a couple of days, and things are improving quickly,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still that bad that they're still in trouble over there.
Zed says he's expecting some spalting in this log. Might be.
Yeah, I hope so. I know there's a little bit. I don't know how much.
And Jennifer's reminding everyone, don't forget the thumbs up, folks. You know, the overhead camera might be better for us to see the shape we're creating, Doug.
Yes, I agree. Just hadn't gotten there yet. But you're right.
Well, that's what you
Yeah.
have me for, to remind you. And Zed says he always hits the thumbs up button 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times is fine. You don't want to do it twice, though.
And Fred says it's not too good in the UK either. He put this bad weather down to too many aircraft flying around, maybe. And Old Man River is saying that Asheville is still closed off from the rest of the world as all the roads are closed and not passable.
Yeah, I did see something last night that they had opened. There was one road, one of the major roads going into Asheville that they've opened up. I can't tell you which one it was, though. Um, that's still not very much.
Hmm.
And if you know anything about that area, I do because I lived there for a little over 9 years. Um, you would never think that they would have a flooding issue.
True.
It's so mountainous, and there are a couple of major rivers. Um,
Well, if I
so
understand correctly, I think a few of the dams let loose.
I have not heard of any dams that let loose in North Carolina. I could be wrong, but I've not heard of any. There was talk of one or two, and that's all it was talk. People
Hmm.
that wanted to sound like they were important. That's always interesting to me that people will do that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do something just a little weird here. I'm gonna take my beading tool, kind of establish a foot here.
Yeah, that was what was on the news last night, and it was American news.
What? That there was a dam that had let go?
Yeah.
It could be.
Zed says that 17 inches of rain in a short amount of time is going to flood anywhere, he thinks. And I agree.
Yeah, yeah. One of the problems that they've had, not just in the mountains, but in that general region, was that the power plants went offline.
Mm-hmm.
They got some water in them, and the plants shut down. It's a safety issue. And when there's no electricity, you have no pumps to pump water,
Right.
whether it's out of one area or into another area. So that's a part of their issue.
And Malcolm Douglas has joined us. Good evening, Malcolm.
Hey, Malcolm.
And Heather says, from what she understands, Asheville is in a valley. Well, it's sort of in a valley, but it's fairly high up.
Yes. It's not as much in a valley as where I actually lived, which was Waynesville, North Carolina, and then right next to Waynesville is Maggie Valley, which is
Right.
definitely a valley.
And Old Man River points out that they got as much rain as water that goes over Niagara Falls in 5 hours' time. That's a lot of water. And Zed says that it sounds like the Lake Lure Dam was at risk of failing, but it did not fail.
Yeah, Lake Lure Dam was Lake Lure itself. Um, the town of Lake Lure experienced unbelievable water. Um, there's another town right there close by, and both of them had catastrophic water. Again, with my ridge here, I'm sloping down to the bottom, and I'm going to slope down to the top. I'm going to put a little bit of a cove in this.
And Karsten Peterson has joined us. Hi, Karsten.
Hiya, Karsten. So glad everybody has joined us today. I know you had other things you could have done, so I appreciate that you're here today with us.
And for those who have joined us, this is a piece of fogwood that Doug is turning an end grain piece.
Totally the wrong way. But it does create some different things for us and some oddities. Right there's a bad place in the wood. I'm going to have to get that out. So I've got to take this down another 1/8 of an inch. See if I got it before we go on. Almost, not quite. All right, that way I know how much I got to take out. I don't take more than I have to.
Well, especially if you want to make the inside big enough to hold a lot of M&Ms or something.
All right. If I didn't chip anything out, that may have our outside taken care of. Nice coloring in there, little knot there, that's nice. More nice stuff there. I guess that's a crack, or it was a crack or something. That's actually where the chip out was, right there. You can just kind of see there's nothing there now. It's nice and smooth. Okay, still have the issues down here, and when we reverse it to take the tenon off, we'll see about cleaning that up. I'm not sure what we'll do there, but we'll do something. Okay, so
the angry woodturner has joined us and apologizes for being late.
no apologies necessary, Roger.
And Zed says that was a phenomenal one-pass cut from top to bottom, Doug. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, one of the things that, well, where is it? One of these. There it is. One of the things that was kind of drilled into me when I started turning and took my one bowl lesson was you should always try to take one final cut, one finishing cut.
Yep.
So normally it's from bottom to top. In this case, it's top to bottom, so that you stay with the
With the
direction of the
grain.
grain.
And Craig McCoy is wishing you a happy belated birthday, Doug. Now that you're
Thank
an
you,
old
Craig.
man.
Yeah. You're right behind me, buddy.
You
That's
can
my
change
brother-in-law.
back. You can change cameras again.
Yeah. Craig is my brother-in-law, so I try to take care of him so that he'll keep my sister off my back. Now, what I just, well, you can't see it, but I just put a bit of a dimple right in the center of that so that I can and cut myself a depth hole. Just kind of, I'm going to leave it a little short. That's far enough. Now, normally, when we go to take the center out of a bowl, we start out here and we work our way in and toward the center and in toward the back. But in this case, we're going to start in the center and work our way out because it's in grain.
Right. And Craig says no such luck with that regarding your sister.
Yeah, my sister's okay most of the time. Most of the time.
And Larry says he got to go to the Cherokee Reservation when he was about 10 years old. At that time, he was living in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
I'm sorry, living where?
Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
No, right where it is. Just switched over to a spindle gouge. We'll go back to the bowl gouge here in just a moment. Oh. One of these days, I'm going to put some wood on here, no cameras, nobody around, and I'm going to play with that back hollowing idea. Time or two that I've messed with it so far has not been real successful.
And Fred says he sees vibration problems coming with that bowl gouge.
Well, shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad.
When I do those insides, I go down just an inch at a time and take it all the way to the outer edges.
Right. And let's see, I'm going to go against the grain here just a little bit just to establish where I want my rim. I tell you what, I recently received a new air compressor. It's running right now. It is so quiet.
Certainly is. Dale says that his grandparents lived in Murphy, North Carolina in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
It's southwest of Asheville.
Yeah. Yeah, I lived in Waynesville, which is about the first town along I-40 going east when you come out of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Before you get to Asheville. Spent a lot of summers in Black Mountain, which is just east of Asheville. Connie and I lived in Waynesville for about 9 years, a little over. I worked in Canton as well as in Waynesville. All right. Just trying to get some of that bulk out so that I can get in there a little easier. Then we're going to come back with my little more familiar hollowing tool.
Number 1.
The number 1 hollower. We can just should be able to take all this extra wood just right out without any trouble.
Rob has commented he can't hear the compressor.
I'm sorry?
Rob has commented that he can't hear the compressor. So.
Yeah, no. I can barely hear it.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is just very, very quiet.
Well, sometimes people forget that we have to protect our ears as well as our eyes and
Yeah.
And the species of wood is fogwood. We don't know exactly what it is.
Yep, it's definitely fogwood. It's actually on a fire pile, all kind of brush. I'm not so sure that it wasn't pulled out of a lake. There is a lake right there in that park where I got this wood, and so it very well could have come out of the water.
Well, it's certainly going to have some nice color to it.
Yeah.
Oh, and AGK has joined us, and he says, "Did someone say number 1 hollower?"
My precious.
Glad you joined us, Andrew.
That's why AGK is called precious all the time.
Fred is asking a good question. What is fogwood called in the UK? I don't know.
I think it's called fogwood.
That's what I've always heard it referred to as. Maybe, Andrew, you can answer that question for us. Malcolm Douglas says it's called fogwood, so.
Okay, that works. Yeah, Craig will understand. This nice quiet compressor is one of those birthday, Christmas, anniversary combos.
All rolled into one.
Yeah.
Craig says it's free wood.
Yeah, fogwood usually is free wood.
Well, I was telling Doug earlier that when I went to the dump this morning to get rid of a few bags of leaves, I came home with about 6 branches that just happened to be lying there. I figured they'd make nice Christmas trees or mushrooms.
Absolutely. Took Santa Clauses down to one of my retailers today. They were happy. I was real surprised she did not ask me when she was going to get trees. All right. Was just taking a good close look down in there. We're going to try the finisher, which is a much larger. There we go. Much larger cutter, but round. Take some light passes down in there.
Now that's the full
See if that helps.
finisher. Andrew says he's backstage if you'd like to bring him in, Doug.
Okay, I can do that. There he is. Precious.
How we all
How are you
doing?
doing?
How's things?
Good.
Going
You can
good. Going good. How are you,
take
man?
over. You take over, Andrew, and I'm going to hit the washroom for a minute.
Not a problem at all. Yeah, so, yeah, finished work late, just eating my tea, and I thought, do you know what? I've got a little bit of time. I'll jump on and say hello. I've not seen you guys for quite a while.
Well,
So
I'm
how's
glad
it
you're
been?
in. Good. Good. We're we're working on some fogwood that is a whole lot punkier than what I thought it was. I intended to do an end grain bowl today, which I'm doing,
Which is coming out really good.
but it's extremely punky right in the dead center. And so what
Oh,
I
is that
think
how?
I'm going to do, I'm going to there's a little bit of a thick spot. If I put you overhead, you can see where I'm pointing. There we go. A little bit of a thick spot right in there. I think I'm going to work that out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll take the chuck and all off, and we'll put some CA down inside of there, and just to stiffen up the bottom. I did that with my tenon already.
That's pretty cool. So Mick Juice has gone, no, take Andrew back off. So yeah, he wants me backstage, which I already am. So cheers, Mick. Always love your compliments. Hello, Rob, hey up, Zed. Hello to everybody. Henry. Yep. So it seems like you've had a quite busy night so far. And did you say
Yeah.
that was fogwood, as in FOG, or
Yes.
bogwood, as in BOG?
No, fog as an FOG.
Oh, right. Okay. I've not actually heard of fogwood.
Yes, you have.
It means
Found on ground.
found on the
Oh,
ground.
found on ground. Oh, sorry. That is a late day for me. Yes, I get that.
Okay, much better now. It's still not perfectly smooth, but we're getting close. It's down here now, which is good. So let's try to get just a little more of that out. And then we can, if I take my time and I'm really paying attention, I can feel those lumps and bumps.
Maybe change cameras again.
Yeah, there's not much to see, but yes, we can do that.
Well, that's more than we could see from the other view.
That's a good view. That's a good view.
And Andrew, Todd wants to know when we can expect the new video.
Well, now the ribs are healed. I have actually been in the workshop the last couple of weekends, just doing little bits and bats. A lot of cleaning, to be fair, and a little bit of redecorating. And I've just cast some real big resin blanks, and I've got a new supply of wood in. So this weekend, it's on, like as they say, Donkey Kong.
There you go. There you go. Let's see if I get my, since I've got a Nova chuck and I've got a Nova spanner, let's use it and pop that off. Maybe. There we go.
There you go.
This one wants to hang on for some reason, but it's okay. It's part of the game. Part of the game. So we're going to take that off and put a little, get it where you can see it here. There we go.
Oh, would you look at that?
Can you see the, yeah, you can
Yeah.
see the chip out in there.
Yes.
But that's just because the wood is so punky.
But
So,
see that colored ring that was in the wood as well, quite well.
yes, it's in there.
Yeah, that is really nice. And a bit of CA stabilization.
Yes, sir. When in doubt, throw some CA on it. This is so punky and it's coming out pretty nice, so I'd really rather not lose it. And what I'm doing, I'm kind of I'm using that dark ring as my kind of a boundary. And I'm not too worried about it going through since we've already put some on the tenon. That's the best part of that bottle gone.
Is that the
Luckily, I've only got.
thin CA?
Yes, it's thin. It's Parfex 3408.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Parfex for a couple of reasons. One, it does not have the odor that most of CAs have.
True.
This is a little bit of a more of a pure CA. Doesn't have some of the other junk in it that a lot of others have. It doesn't fume nearly as much. You can get it to fume if you put a lot. If I dumped a whole bottle in there
Mm-hmm.
and then hit it with some accelerator, it would fume a little bit. But like right now, I cannot smell that at all. There's no smell.
That's pretty
If
good.
I stick my nose up to it, I can smell it. But I think I'm smelling the accelerator, not the glue. So it has a little bit longer cure time. Where most thin CAs, you put it on, you hit it with CA, it's cured, or at least mostly cured. This can take up to a minute before it's fully cured, or before it actually goes off, and so you have a little bit more working time with it.
Will that tool rest extend into the vessel at all?
It will. That's probably a great idea.
Well, it just looked like it had that nice long extension.
It does. And this isn't the long one. I've got ones longer.
As Rob points out, glue can get expensive.
Oh,
it can. And this Parfex is a little bit more expensive. I think it's a higher quality, but it is a little more expensive. But it does a phenomenal job. For people who like to use CA as a finish, where's my? Here it is. I want to see where I'm at as far as the center goes. I can't exactly tell. Oh, I'm okay. To use this CA as a finish, I can put it on. I've got time to put it on the entire piece. And then, excuse me while I do this.
Mick says he can feel his eyes watering from here with all that CA.
Well.
And the Angry Woodturner is asking if you have a discount code for the Parfex glue, being that Star Bond is expensive.
No, I do not. However, Roger, send me a DM and we can talk about it.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
And Zed has put in his discount code for Star Bond.
There you go. That works. If you like Star Bond.
Everybody has their own preferences.
Yeah, they do. I know a lot of you guys in the UK are using the what is it? O3A or something.
Oh, the O3A.
Yeah, that's what y'all.
Yeah, there's
many of you guys are using.
A lot of people are still using O3A. I'm using Chestnut.
Okay.
I've been for quite a while.
Good. All right, that CA made all the difference in the world. Let me pull this off and I'll show it to you again. In fact, I don't need that wrench. I'm done on the inside.
But you might have to move the tool rest.
Yep. Now, we're talking about my compressor. It's running right now.
You have a compressor?
Yep, it's running.
There you go.
It's not totally gone, but it's much better than what it was.
It's a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to fall apart on me. And by cutting it after it was applied and dried, and then I took my cutter and cut it again, any staining is gone. So what I can do, and I'll do it later. No, I better do it now. Do a little bit of sanding real quick.
Well, I think that's a good idea.
Well, I can still get it in the chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, oddly enough, I can feel a little bit of heat from that CA.
Is it still
So
heating up?
it's still curing down inside the wood where it was so punky and it was just soaking straight in.
Yeah.
It may be
So
moving up with what you put on the other end when you did the tendon.
Yes, it very well may be meeting up with it. It was that soft. I didn't realize how soft it was. Okay, let's start off. Yeah, here's what we're gonna do. I've got my handy dandy inertia sander that's straight on, so I'm gonna use it toward the bottom here.
Straight into the bottom. That'll sort it.
Bottom.
Yeah, it's like a bottom feeder sander, isn't
A bottom feeder, yeah. Well, when you've got that much, when you got that much tear out on punky wood, it's going to do the trick.
Yeah, anything to get in there. My little angle drill, I would not be able to reach the bottom just because of the shape.
Now, Fred is asking, is there any difference between CA glue makes? CA is just thick, medium, or thin.
No, they're the different brands. There are differences. The Parfex 3408. We've always heard the story that CA was invented to close wounds in the battlefield.
Yep.
The Parfex 3408 is the glue that was used. The same
It's
formulation.
made in Michigan. And Mick says that
I
Andrew
was just
could walk around inside that and finish it for you, Doug.
Oh, trust Mick, eh? Trust Mick.
Well, at least he's thinking of you, Andrew.
I know, and if I could run faster, I could take the mini #1 hollower and do it really good. How about that, Mick, eh?
Let's see. I'm not getting enough angle on the side, so we're going to have to do that by hand, which is easy enough. I'm not going in all that far.
Todd wants to know if that that bottom feeder is a homemade tool.
Basically, yes. Inside of the handle, you see a bronze bushing. In the bottom of that, there is a magnetic bearing. So then I take a sanding mandrel, drop it in, and that holds it. Literally, it will still spin, but doesn't just fall out. It sticks to that magnet. I got the bushing and the magnet. You can order those. You have to search around for them. They're available to purchase. I got mine from Captain Eddie when he was still selling those things. In fact,
Right.
I've got a few sets sitting over here that haven't been used yet. I want to do another one with a straight end on the end like this, and on the other end, I want to go in at a 45. So it'll be double ended, and I'll be in great shape then.
Andrew, Mick wants to know, is that the 6-foot long #1 hollower?
I think it's past Mick's bedtime.
And what's so funny? What's so funny is JP got Andrew sitting with a #1 hollower saying, "My precious." So that's why Andrew is called Precious all across the internet now.
Oh yes. It's stuck like glue, or CA glue in this effect.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And here I thought it was referring back to Lord of the Rings.
It was a little bit of a double innuendo, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a picture out there as well with that, thanks to our friend Mr. Page.
Yes. Mr. Page is the master of the meme. I have seen him come up with a brand new meme in like 30 seconds or less.
Oh yes. Zed's got
Pretty
a good
incredible.
question. It says, does the bottom feeder spin or is it rigid?
It spins because it's on that bearing.
Hmm.
Put the paper on there so you can actually see it. Yeah, it spins. So, yeah,
And then the
Yeah.
inertia from the wood spinning round spins it even faster.
yeah.
There you go.
I like to get it on the bottom. Of course, it's coming down, and I can go to either side. It turns either direction. Um, but and then once it's spinning, if you open it up just a little bit toward the top, you get more of the side cutting instead of the vertical. Excuse me. And
Zed
that way,
says that's cool. He wants one.
Yeah, he just said he needs to make one as well now.
yeah. Like I said, you can find the bearings and the sleeves, the bronze sleeves, online. Um, I'm sure the Rainforest store has them. Probably find them on eBay as well. Just take some hunting. Um, don't try to find them from. Don't try to get them from Eddie Castellan. He does not sell them any longer. So we're out of luck on that one. He had to give up all of his retail uh, operation when he was so sick. He just couldn't handle it, and there was no one around who could. In fact, people that they had come and kind of clean out his shop for him. He was doing Blackhawk sharpening systems, and they
Wow.
threw out thousands of dollars worth of steel that was already cut, ready to be sent out.
Oh
They
wow.
filled a dumpster up with it.
That's a shame.
So yeah. So the second
Now,
time that happened, he just gave it all up, and the doctors were not wanting him to do it anyway. So
now
as he
Roger
said, man,
says, Doug, you could make a video on making one.
I could. In fact, I may have a video on making this one. It won't be a live; it'll be a video. So if you go look for it, look in the video section. If you don't find one, let me know, and I'll make my new one and do it. I may do it live even. It's pretty easy to do. It'd be a
I
short
think
live, but
that'd be a good demo.
yeah. I tell you what, I'm trying to resist turning on my dust collector because it's so loud to me. It may not be loud to you guys, but it's loud to me. And but this stuff is dusty.
You can see it
Yeah,
coming off the top end.
Oh yes, you can see
right.
it.
And that's all of that is just powdery dust. And it's on both sides of the waves there. It's sanding up very nicely though.
Hello.
Somebody's at the door.
Hello.
All right, that's 120. Hit it with a little 180.
So what type of finish are you going to put on this dog?
What in the world? I haven't decided. I may go with my. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's 4 o'clock. I'll put oil on it. Walnut oil. I don't have that nice melon oil that you guys have.
Oh, that melon oil is nice.
Yeah.
Did you say
Yeah.
melon or lemon?
It's lemon
actually
oil.
it's lemon oil. But Vicky has got this thing about lemon oil. So whenever Wayne used to do the lives and he used lemon oil, Vicky would jump in and she's like, "Oh," so we called it melon oil just to be sarcastic, I guess.
All
Well,
right.
and partly
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah,
she always wanted lemon oil, so Wayne would say it's not lemon oil, it's melon oil.
melon oil.
We've got some other things that are similar, but we don't have that exact product.
No,
There are some
it is
things
good.
that we can get over here that you guys use in England or in Great Britain, not just England, but there are some things we cannot get, and that's one of them that
Well, you could order it from Rob Summerlin, and I'm sure he'd send it down to you.
I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can. There's some things that come into Canada that can't be sent across the border. Just like some things we can't send to you guys. Like
That's
right
true.
now, we cannot send Axe abrasive paste and wax to you,
Oh,
which
Oh,
is
dear.
really?
that's just dumb. That makes no sense why it won't go across the border. But yeah, it gets stopped on the Canadian side. Um, sometimes they release it, sometimes they don't. And so Tom has said he just won't do it anymore. Too many customers in Canada were starting to fuss that they couldn't get their product.
So
Or as soon
Mick's
as they did
asking.
get it,
Sorry,
their original order would come back in. So okay,
is
Mick was
that
asking what?
no? It's all right. I was going to ask you a question actually on the back of what you just said.
Yeah.
Is there what's the reason why they won't send it over though? You know, I don't understand
It's
because it's
con-
made there. It's all the same type of ingredients that used to get sent over.
it's
Yes, but
considered
with
a dangerous
COVID,
substance.
yeah, with COVID, things changed. The list of things that were acceptable or not acceptable changed, and believe it or not, still changing today.
Oh right,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and it's weird. Like Ruby is not allowed to come to the United States right now for a very stupid reason,
Yes,
and
yeah.
I've got a
That is
I I've started to contact a couple of people that have connections so that we can fix that. Don't know if it'll ever happen or not, but we're going to try.
yeah, because that's
Now,
just a bonkers reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Heather says that that's not true anymore. Tom just sent her some. The issue
Ah,
with X has been fixed.
good, good, good.
Ah,
See, it's in 6 months that could change again. It's the sad part. It could go
but she
back
did
the other way.
follow up and say, unfortunately, the price of shipping to Canada is outrageous.
True.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can ship stuff to England for less than I can ship stuff to the United States.
Yeah, yeah. Figure that one out.
Hmm.
All right. This is going to work. I'm going on the outside of these jaws. Let them grab the inside of my lip.
Are you going to bring your tailstock up initially?
Yes, yes. I
Well,
don't want to
just,
spread.
just for worry warts like me.
I don't want to tighten it up too tight because there is a crack in the wood. I don't know how solid or flimsy that crack is, but I'm going to put this on. And here's another thing I'm going to let you guys see. This is a one-way type live center. It's got this hole back here, and that's in the back of the bearing. I can drop this rod in there. It goes all the way through so that rod or the spindle doesn't turn. Now I can take this off and change my centers very easily. However, I'm going to keep this one. This is the cup center with the small point, very small.
Mhm.
So it's not going to bother me at all. I'll bring that up. It fits right into where that other live center was. I'm just going to put just a touch of pressure on there, not a lot, because all this is going away. I was going to leave this little foot on it, but that foot's going to go away. I have decided it does not need to live any longer. So let's get the spindle gouge.
I do like those live
Unlock.
center.
Yes, they are very
Yeah.
nice.
Mm.
And
And
you
you
can
have a
that
small cone and you also have a bigger cone.
That's one thing I do need to get. I need to get the bigger cone for mine. That's one thing I
if you
haven't
have
got.
the actual. Well, in fact, I can. I started to say if you have the actual one-way tail center. This is
Mhm.
not. This is a knockoff. However, all the one-way accessories will fit this.
Yep.
It's a 3/4, whatever that is, whatever, yeah, something like that. I've even made some centers, what Captain Eddie likes to call the soft touch centers.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently my headstock and tailstock are not exactly aligned.
Frederick Day says, as Colwyn Way says, tighten it until just before you hear the first crack.
That's it. That's
That's the
exactly right.
one.
That is exactly right.
And then when you
It
hear the
is,
crack, you cry.
yeah. I've shed 1 or 2 tears over that very thing.
Over tightening, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Especially on a
Well,
thin
and
mortar.
I sit there, tap, 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 and then all of a sudden, pow.
Yeah.
Ah, come on. Okay, we're almost. Make sure we're slightly concave here. And Gary, unfortunately, he had to leave the Papa 1947. He does this. He learned it from mhm, Phil Anderson.
Phil
And
Anderson.
I
Yeah.
learned it. Yeah, I learned it from watching both of them. So again, as light as a cut as I'm taking there, that is as punky as it can be. It's going to have something to kind of fill it just a touch. Give it just a little bit of the impression of a foot here. There we go.
There you go.
Again, remember we're in spindle orientation, so I'm still going down the grain. So we're in good shape.
No, you're doing a great job, Doug.
Well, I've got you looking over my shoulder. I can't do it wrong, or you'll fuss.
Well, of course I
Uh,
correct you. That's my job, isn't it?
You wouldn't
Oh, yes.
fuss. You would question me, is what you would do. I know how you work.
Well, I do it diplomatically.
Yeah, you do. You would be nice about it, as nice as you could be. What are you doing? You're going the wrong way.
What are you doing? Stop right there.
Yeah. Oh my. Precious, I don't know that you were watching at the time, or at least you weren't part of the chats at the time. But every once in a while, Wayne would be doing a live, and one of the guys would stop. And Wade would say, "Huh? What?" Wayne's
Well,
just so laid back, he doesn't get uptight about much anything.
Oh, no, he sure doesn't.
what I did was I established his direction of cuts before he even went live.
Right,
Right,
Oh,
Doug?
nice one.
well, we have talked about it in the past, and a couple of weeks ago, I started kind of setting for myself some ideas of what to do on future lives, and so I thought, let's do an end grain bowl. I haven't done an end grain in a long time. Now, I really was hoping I'd find a nicer piece of wood. This one's not bad. It's going to be a nice piece, but you get some like a zebra wood or some of the South American woods that are just gorgeous when you look at them cross grain. And we don't normally get to see those because people turn them side grain.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, it's just nice to take a piece and turn it in grain knowing that we have to think about changing the direction of how in the world we're going to turn that, or how we cut it. All right.
And Mick Deuce is saying, Doug, at least you know who's in charge.
That's right. Ruby is.
Oh dear.
The woman is always in charge. It doesn't matter who she is. The woman is always in charge.
Whether we want to be or not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Pop.
Oh, that's coming up so beautiful, Doug.
Mm.
Now this is why I just hate using walnut oil. Tongue in cheek.
Don't forget to do the
I-
top edge.
Yes, I
You know,
will. I will.
You was talking about the not being able to get the lemon oil. I mean,
Hmm.
I would absolutely love to get some of that walnut oil.
I think you would like it. It's just a
Mm.
nice. It's a self-drying oil. They don't have to put anything in it.
No.
So that, I mean, this is walnut oil. This is what comes out when they squeeze whatever it is they squeeze.
Mm.
That's what
walnut.
comes out. Yeah. I don't know if it's the walnut or the hulls, or I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I've seen obviously yourself use this. Carl Jacobson uses it a lot.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah,
In fact, this is the same oil, same brand that Carl uses,
mhm.
primarily because I can get it quite a bit less expensively. I don't remember the exact number now, but the last time I needed it, I always use the Mahoney stuff, and it's like $23 for a quart, and this is significantly less. I just don't remember how much less, but it is less.
Ruby, you can block him, you know.
Who you blocking?
No, but just make juice. He says it's okay, Doug. We'll tell Ruby she's doing it wrong when we go to Harrogate.
Ruby, you may have a lot of fun when you go to Harrogate.
Oh, you're gonna have a blast.
I'm really looking forward to it. The hotel's booked.
Yeah.
My flight is booked.
You're lucky though, Ruby. Mick's only there for the Friday, so you've got 2 days to recover.
Oh, boy, thank goodness for that.
So if you wait and go in late on Friday. All right, here we go. There is the outside, and you can still see the inside. It's much lighter.
I mean, that's just a really nice before and after photo
if
after
that
putting the walnut oil on.
I'm wondering if that isn't catalpa.
Catalpa is a harder wood than this. This is more softwood type of stuff. I'm wondering if it's like a white cedar, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to have to. I don't know if the extension office can help me with this or not. But
if it was cedar, you'd smell it though when you were sanding it.
You would have thought so, but this may be so old and dry. I mean, it was powder dry. You saw the powder on it.
Yeah.
And even that's not this dark line, but around the edge here of the little foot, it's just wide open where it is, it's just so dry. It's opening up.
Well, Craig is suggesting it might be myrtle.
Myrtle.
I haven't turned that in probably 30 years, so it might be.
Again, myrtle is a hardwood. I've turned a fair amount of myrtle. Back when I first started turning, I was buying a lot of it because I heard how beautiful it was and how nice it was, and I quit buying it because I just quit buying wood.
Lucy has joined us this evening. Welcome, Lucy.
Hiya, Lucy.
How about those potatoes?
Yeah, Lucy, sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Oh,
in fact, last year at Harrogate, we all made Lucy a potato, and we took her a potato.
Yeah. How many potatoes did you end up getting home with, Lucy? It wasn't as many as I thought it was going to be, as I remember.
No, it was. I think it was about 3 or 4.
Okay. All right.
Lucy,
So, like I said, I just
Lucy,
dump a bunch in. I'll rub it around a little bit and pull excess out, put it on the outside. And when it runs out, then I'll just keep rubbing it until it kind of feels dry-ish, not dry, but
Mhm.
dry-ish. And then I'll set it aside, give it 12 to 24 hours. I'll come back tomorrow and give it another rub down. I'm not going to worry about that little area right there. Get it where you can see it. Yeah, where it's trying to, looks like it's trying to pull itself apart right there.
Yeah.
yep.
But that's ingrain of this particular piece. Now, if this was a nice hardwood, probably would not have those issues, unless my tools were dry or were dull. I've even got Leland cypress over here, and it doesn't do like this. This is an odd piece of wood. That
It's
all
a
that
nice
oil is
piece of
soaked
wood.
in the all that oil is soaked in. It was so punky, even with the CA in the bottom. It's
Mm.
but anyway, nice little shape, little uh, Greek influence shape there. Let me bring this back around and we can. Any questions about it? Sit here and hold it so that you can see it. Nice little area of color right there. I'm not sure what that was, but it made it nice. Nice character
Mm.
piece.
Yes.
So anyhow, I'll I may run it by the extension office tomorrow. I doubt they're going to be able to help me, but we'll try. Found found near water, maybe a crepe myrtle. Possible, Craig. Um, it didn't have any bark, no leaves. It was on a fire pile, and this piece was that big around. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a fairly sizable tree at one time. But anyway, this punky area down here. That's where that limb was coming out of it, that we had to cut off to begin with, um, or was it? Uh, maybe not. Maybe that was over here. I don't know. I forgot.
It
And
was
what we
near
end
the,
up.
it was near the bottom.
Okay, 4 3/4 in diameter, and dead on 5 inches top to bottom.
Very
So there
nice.
you have it. Nice little ingrain bowl. I would not put water in it. It'd probably run right through.
If
So
you,
this is a would be a decoration piece for sure.
well, if you coated the inside with a resin, then you would be able to.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
But it would take a resin to be able to.
Yeah, something like
Penetrate.
Rustin's resin would work.
Yeah. See, there's another product. You guys in Canada can get that. You guys in Great Britain can get it. We
You
can't get
should
it.
be able to get it. I ordered it from Amazon.
Amazon Canada is not the same as Amazon US. Rustin's
Anyway,
is.
I agree with
I've looked
Craig.
for it.
Looks good.
It does
Yeah.
look
Thank
good.
you.
It
Thank you.
does.
There was a lot of fun, and there was a couple times when I saw how bad the bottom inside was, I thought that's not going to hold on, but it did, and I'm super grateful. It'll be a nice little piece. We'll probably get it finished up and put it in the store uh, down the road, a few days down the road. So anyway, there you have it, folks. One fogwood vase turned in grain, a little different from the norm, and so
Oh.
we'll just see how it goes. See how it finishes up. It'll get at least one more coat of oil, if not two. Um, then again, what I could do, since I am able to grab it inside the top here, I could go back and use my axe on it and get a nice wax finish on top of this oil. Let it sit a day or two, and it'll work. It'll work just fine. In fact, it doesn't have to sit for the abrasive paste and wax. It doesn't have to sit as long as if it's touch dry, it'll work. If I wanted to put poly or lacquer, even shellac, well, shellac not so bad because it'll go over most anything. But anything else, poly or what did I say a second ago? lacquer, I'd probably need to let it sit for a week, maybe. Let it cure, and then those other finishes would go on with no problem. All right. Final thoughts, Ruby?
I think you did a great job.
Thank you so much. Precious?
Absolutely fantastic. Love
Well,
the way it came out.
appreciate you coming along, taking the time after you got your tea. Now you can go get your shower and sleep all night, right?
Absolutely. Up early
There
doors in
you
the
go.
morning. Big day
All right,
tomorrow.
guys. We'll see you all later. If I don't see you before then, we'll see you next week. And if you don't mind, come back in after we shut down, hit the like button, and leave a comment in the comment section if you would. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to say good night, everybody.
Good night,
Night.
everybody.